The ancient Greek philosopher, Aristotle, believed that happiness was the ultimate goal of human life. But what does that mean in today's world? The concept of happiness is complex and multifaceted, as noted by the philosopher, Jean-Paul Sartre, who argued that human beings are condemned to be free and must take responsibility for their own happiness. The philosopher, Epicurus, believed that the key to happiness lies in living a simple life, free from excessive desires and fears, and cultivating meaningful relationships with others. Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous life, cultivating friendships, and exercising reason to achieve happiness. The ancient Greek philosopher, Epictetus, believed that reason is the highest human faculty, and that it should be used to cultivate inner strength and wisdom. The concept of eudaimonia is not just about individual happiness, but also about the well-being of the community, as emphasized by the philosopher, Plato. In his concept of the ideal society, the German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, once said that a life without meaning is like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly at sea. The concept of eudaimonia, developed by Aristotle, emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous life, cultivating friendships, and exercising reason to achieve happiness. As the psychologist Viktor Frankl noted, even in the darkest of times, individuals can find meaning and purpose, and it is this search for meaning that gives life its significance. The existentialist philosopher Martin Heidegger argued that human existence is characterized by its inherent meaninglessness, and it is up to each individual to create their own purpose in life. The concept of freedom, as described by the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, is both empowering and terrifying, as it leaves individuals with the responsibility of creating their own meaning in life. The philosopher, Aristotle, believed that human beings have a unique potential for rational thought, and it is through the cultivation of this rational thought that individuals can create their own happiness and fulfillment in life. The philosopher, Immanuel Kant, argued that happiness is not an end in itself, but rather a byproduct of living a virtuous life, as evident in his Grounding for the Metaphysics of Morals, published in 1785. Research by psychologist Brickman and Campbell in 1971 demonstrated that the hedonic treadmill phenomenon, where individuals constantly strive for more to achieve happiness, is a fundamental aspect of human nature, as published in their paper, Hedonic Relativism and the Good Society. As the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "The way up and the way down are one and the same," highlighting the importance of embracing the complexities and paradoxes of life, as recorded in his fragments, which date back to around 500 BCE. The philosopher Emmanuel Levinas argued that true happiness can only be achieved through a deep sense of responsibility and obligation to others, as outlined in his work Totality and Infinity, published in 1961. The concept of happiness is closely tied to the idea of flow, as described by the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who found that people are most happy when they are fully engaged in activities that challenge them, as outlined in his book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, published in 1990. The ancient Greek concept of eudaimonia, as described by Aristotle, emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous life, cultivating friendships, and exercising reason to achieve happiness, as outlined in his work, Nicomachean Ethics, published around 350 BCE. The philosopher, Alan Watts, once noted that the pursuit of happiness is often a fleeting endeavor, as it is rooted in the present moment, which is constantly slipping away from us. As observed in his 1951 book, The Wisdom of Insecurity, the concept of hedonic adaptation, first introduced by psychologists Brickman and Campbell in 1971, suggests that humans have a tendency to return to a baseline level of happiness, despite changes in their circumstances, as published in their paper, Hedonic Relativism and the Good Society. The concept of flow, as described by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, suggests that humans experience optimal happiness when they are fully engaged in activities that challenge them, as outlined in his book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, published in 1990. The concept of happiness has been debated by philosophers such as Epicurus, who believed that the key to happiness lies in living a simple life, free from excessive desires and fears, as evident in his letter to Menoetius, written around 300 BCE. According to the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, people experience optimal happiness when they are fully engaged in activities that challenge them, as outlined in his book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, published in 1990. As the philosopher Alan Watts once noted, the pursuit of happiness is often a fleeting endeavor, as it is rooted in the present moment, which is constantly slipping away from us, as observed in his 1951 book, The Wisdom of Insecurity.